They never taught you this in school. They never explained why some people seem to attract wealth, love, and success effortlessly, while others struggle no matter how hard they try. And yet, the truth has always been there, hidden in plain sight. It's not luck. It's not talent. It's not even about how hard you work. Everything you experience, every triumph, every setback, every moment of joy or struggle, is a direct reflection of something deeper, something most people never even question: the subconscious blueprint running your life. This blueprint is shaping your thoughts, your emotions, and ultimately your reality. If you've ever felt like you're stuck, repeating the same patterns, attracting the same problems, it's not because life is unfair, it's because your mind has been programmed that way. Think about it. From the moment you were born, you were absorbing beliefs like a sponge. The way your parents talked about money, the way your teachers described success, the way society conditioned you to believe what's possible for you, without even realizing it. These beliefs settled deep in your subconscious, forming the invisible script that now controls every outcome in your life. Here's the shocking part. Your subconscious doesn't care if these beliefs are true or false, helpful or harmful. It only cares about one thing: maintaining the familiar. If you've been conditioned to believe that making money is hard, that love always ends in heartbreak, that success is only for certain people, then your subconscious will make sure those beliefs continue to be your reality, not because it wants to hurt you, but because it believes that's what's safe. And this is where most people get stuck. They try to change their lives with willpower alone. They repeat affirmations, they make vision boards, they push themselves harder. But deep down, if their subconscious is still running on an outdated, limiting program, nothing will change. They'll fall back into old patterns. They'll self-sabotage. They'll keep attracting the same circumstances, no matter how much they consciously want something different. This is why understanding how the subconscious mind works is the key to unlocking everything you desire. When you shift the program, the reality you experience has no choice but to shift as well. It all comes down to vibration. Science has already proven that everything in the universe is energy, from the chair you're sitting on to the thoughts in your mind. And the energy you emit, your dominant vibration, is what determines what you attract. Think of it like a radio signal. If you're tuned into the frequency of lack, doubt, and fear, then life will keep mirroring those experiences back to you. But if you change that frequency, if you shift your internal state, you automatically begin attracting new opportunities, new possibilities, and even people who match your new vibration. The reason so many people struggle is because they are constantly trying to change their external reality while staying stuck in the same internal frequency. But it doesn't work that way. Reality is not happening to you, it is responding to you. The good news? You can rewire this. The subconscious mind is not set in stone. It can be reprogrammed. The patterns that have kept you stuck for years can be broken, once you know how. But before we get into the how, let's talk about the biggest mistake people make when trying to manifest their desires. They focus on the goal. They visualize the outcome. They say, "I want more money," or "I want to find love." But underneath those words, they are still vibrating with lack, with doubt, with the belief that they don't have it. And the universe, responding to that dominant vibration, reflects back the absence of what they want. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. This is why so many struggle with the law of attraction. It's not about wishful thinking, it's about alignment. You cannot be focused on the absence of something and expect it to show up in your life. The shift happens the moment you stop chasing and start embodying. So how do you do that? How do you break the patterns that have been running your life on autopilot? How do you change your frequency, shift your subconscious blueprint, and start attracting the reality you actually want? The answer is simpler than you think, but it requires a complete shift in how you approach reality. Let's break it down. First, awareness is key. You cannot change what you are not aware of. Start paying attention to the beliefs you've been carrying. Beliefs about money, about success, about love, about yourself. Every single one of those beliefs is shaping your experience. If deep down you believe that money is hard to come by, that's exactly what your reality will reflect. If you believe that you're not worthy of love, you'll unconsciously push it away. But the moment you become aware of these beliefs, you take back control. You realize that these thoughts are not facts. They are just patterns that you can change. Second, stop resisting. Most people don't realize that resistance is the number one block to manifestation. The more you fight against your current reality, the more you reinforce it. Every time you say, "I don't want this," you are giving energy to it. Instead of resisting what is, shift your focus. Move from resistance to allowance. This doesn't mean settling. It means aligning with a new reality by shifting your state of being. Third, emotional mastery. Your emotions are your frequency in motion. If you constantly feel frustrated, anxious, or unworthy, that is the energy you are broadcasting. The key is to learn how to elevate your emotional state, even before your external circumstances change. This is where most people get it wrong. They wait for external validation to feel different. But reality doesn't work that way. You have to feel it first. You have to embody the energy of what you want before it shows up. This is why gratitude is so powerful. Gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. When you feel gratitude, you signal to the universe that you already have what you desire. And when you vibrate at that frequency, more of it flows into your experience effortlessly. Finally, trust the process. Most people give up right before the shift happens. They doubt, they question, they let fear take over. But the key to manifestation is unwavering belief. Not in some external force, but in yourself, in your power, in the truth that you are the creator of your reality. Most people think change is hard. They believe that transforming their reality requires years of struggle, endless effort, or waiting for the right opportunity. But that's another illusion, one designed to keep you trapped in the same cycles. Change doesn't happen in the future. It happens the moment you decide. Right now, as you listen to these words, there is a version of you who is already living the life you desire. That version of you isn't waiting. They aren't doubting. They aren't stuck in hesitation or fear. They have already stepped into the mindset, the energy, and the belief system that makes their dreams inevitable. The only difference between where you are now and where you want to be is alignment. And the fastest way to shift into that alignment is to let go of the identity that is keeping you stuck. Because here's the truth. You are not your past. You are not your old stories. You are not the limitations you've accepted as truth. Those are just patterns. Patterns that can be rewritten at any moment. Think about a computer. If it's running an outdated program, it will keep producing the same results no matter how much you want a different outcome. You don't change the results by pushing harder. You change them by upgrading the system. Your subconscious mind is the system, and your beliefs are the programs running it. Most people are operating on outdated software, programs that were installed when they were children, when they had no choice but to accept the beliefs they were given. But you are not a child anymore. You don't have to keep running the same script. You can delete the old programs, you can install new ones, and when you do, your entire reality shifts. So let's talk about how to do that. Identify the beliefs that are running your life. This requires brutal honesty. Ask yourself, what do I believe about money? What do I believe about success? What do I believe about love, happiness, my own worth? Your subconscious mind reveals itself through your daily life. If money is a struggle, there's a belief running in the background that's creating that experience. If you always attract toxic relationships, there's a pattern reinforcing that cycle. If you feel stuck in your career, your self-pity is keeping you there. The good news? A belief is nothing more than a thought repeated enough times that it became automatic. And if a belief was created through repetition, it can be undone the same way. Interrupt the old patterns. Every time you catch yourself thinking a limiting thought, stop it in its tracks. Don't argue with it. Don't fight it. Just observe it and say, "This is just an old program. I don't have to believe this anymore." The more you do this, the weaker the belief becomes. It loses power over you, and in that space you can introduce something new. Rewire your mind with new beliefs. Now that you've made space, it's time to plant the right seeds. This is where affirmations, visualization, and embodiment come in. But here's the part most people miss. Affirmations don't work if they contradict your core identity. If you say, "I am wealthy," but deep down your subconscious is screaming, "No, you're not," the affirmation won't stick. You have to build belief gradually. Start with thoughts that feel believable. Instead of forcing a thought like, "I am a millionaire," start with something your mind can accept, like, "I am learning to align with abundance," or "Opportunities for wealth are constantly flowing to me." Once that belief feels natural, you upgrade it, you build momentum, and soon you step into the full embodiment of what you desire. Shift your emotional state. Here's where the real magic happens. Your emotions are the fuel behind your manifestations. If you think a positive thought but still feel doubt, fear, or frustration, you're sending mixed signals to the universe. The key is to feel as if your desire is already here. Gratitude is one of the fastest ways to do this. When you feel grateful, you are signaling that you already have what you desire, and when you send out that vibration, life responds by giving you more to be grateful for. Joy, excitement, and love operate at the highest frequencies. When you start embodying these emotions daily before anything has even changed, you become magnetic. Let go and trust the process. This is the hardest part for most people. They do the work, they shift their beliefs, but then they obsess over when and how their manifestations will show up. And that very obsession creates resistance. Think about a garden. If you plant a seed and keep digging it up every day to see if it's growing, you disrupt the process. The same is true for manifestation. Your job is to plant the seed, water it with belief, and trust that it will grow. Most people are so focused on their desires not being here yet that they don't realize they are pushing them further away. The moment you can genuinely say, "I know it's coming and I don't need to stress about it," that's when it shows up. Because here's the ultimate truth. The universe is not testing you, it's responding to you. The only delay is your own resistance. The moment you surrender, everything aligns, and that's when the magic happens. Look back on your life. Every moment where things finally fell into place, where an opportunity arrived out of nowhere, where the perfect person showed up at the perfect time, wasn't it always when you least expected it? That's because expectation is resistance, detachment is power. And this is the real secret that separates those who struggle from those who seem to manifest effortlessly. It's not about wishing harder. It's about aligning deeper. It's about becoming the person who already has what you want, not just in words, but in energy, in belief, in certainty. You are powerful beyond measure. But power isn't force. It's alignment. And when you step into alignment, reality bends to meet you. So the question is, who are you choosing to be? Because once you make that decision, everything changes. Most people live their entire lives reacting to what they see, never realizing that what they see is just an echo of their past thoughts, past emotions, past beliefs. They look at their bank account, their relationships, their health, and assume that's just how things are. But that's the illusion. Your current reality is not a reflection of who you are, it's a reflection of who you were. The thoughts you held last week, last month, last year, those are what shaped the reality you're living in today. And this is where most people get it backward. They try to change the external world without changing their internal world first. They think, once I have more money, then I'll feel abundant. Once I meet the right person, then I'll feel loved. Once I get the perfect opportunity, then I'll feel successful. But that's not how it works. The universe doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you are. If you want abundance, you have to feel abundant now. If you want love, you have to embody love now. If you want success, you have to step into the mindset of success now. Because the moment you shift your inner world, the outer world has no choice but to rearrange itself to match your new vibration. You've already seen this happen in your own life. Think about a time when you were completely certain about something, when you just knew, deep in your bones, that something was going to happen. Maybe it was a job you were sure you'd get. Maybe it was a person you knew you'd connect with. Maybe it was a moment where everything aligned perfectly. In those moments, there was no doubt, no hesitation, no second guessing. You just knew. And that knowing is the key, because when you fully believe in something, when your energy is aligned with it, when you move through the world as if it's already yours, reality bends to match that certainty. This is why people who operate from absolute confidence always seem to get what they want. It's not because they're lucky, it's because they're embodying the energy of already having it. And you can do the same. The only thing standing between you and the reality you want is the version of you that still thinks it's out of reach. So how do you step into that version of yourself? Stop waiting for permission. Most people don't take action toward their dreams because they're waiting to feel ready, waiting for a sign, waiting for someone to validate them. But the version of you that already has what you want isn't waiting. They're already acting, already moving, already embodying that energy. Waiting is resistance. Taking action is alignment. And here's the secret. When you start moving toward your desires, even before you feel ready, even before you have proof, you signal to the universe that you believe it's possible. And the moment you fully believe, the moment you start embodying that version of yourself, things begin to shift. Opportunities show up, people appear, circumstances align. Not because of luck, but because you finally tuned yourself to the frequency of what you desire. Master the art of letting go. This is where most people struggle. They hold on to their desires with a grip so tight that they choke the energy out of them. They stress, they worry, they obsess over when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, why it's taking so long. And that energy of desperation pushes it further away. Think about it. When you chase something, it runs. When you hold on to something too tightly, you create resistance. But when you relax, when you trust, when you let go and allow, things flow effortlessly. This is the paradox of manifestation. The moment you no longer need it, the moment you are content whether it happens or not, that's when it finally comes, because now you're no longer vibrating at the frequency of lack. You've shifted into the energy of already having it. So stop chasing, start allowing. Feel the certainty, not the need. Feel the gratitude, not the desperation. Feel the excitement, not the fear. And watch how quickly everything aligns. Shift your self-perceived. Most people don't realize that their biggest limitation isn't the outside world. It's how they see themselves. If you don't see yourself as someone who is successful, wealthy, loved, or worthy, you will subconsciously sabotage every opportunity that contradicts that identity. This is why people win the lottery and end up broke again. Their subconscious identity doesn't match the reality of being wealthy, so they find ways to lose the money. It's why people who struggle with relationships keep attracting the same toxic patterns. Their subconscious self-perceivable is still operating from a place of unworthiness, but the moment you shift how you see yourself, everything changes. You have to start thinking, acting, and making decisions as the version of you that already has what you want. How does that version of you wake up in the morning? How do they speak? How do they carry themselves? What choices do they make? When you align with that version of yourself, your subconscious mind starts to rewire, and once your subconscious is on board, manifestation becomes effortless. Surround yourself with the right energy. Your environment shapes you. The people you interact with, the content you consume, the conversations you engage in. If you are constantly surrounded by negativity, doubt, and fear, your mind will absorb those frequencies. But when you surround yourself with inspiration, with people who uplift you, with ideas that expand your vision, your energy shifts. This doesn't mean cutting people out of your life, but it does mean being intentional about what you allow into your mind. The fastest way to upgrade your mindset is to immerse yourself in environments that reflect the reality you want to create. Read books that expand your thinking. Listen to people who inspire you. Spend time in places that elevate your energy. Because your mind is always absorbing, and the more you feed it with high-frequency energy, the faster your reality transforms. Trust that you are always on the right path. Most people doubt themselves too much. They think, what if I'm making the wrong decision? What if I fail? What if this isn't meant for me? But the truth is, every step you take, every success, every failure, every detour, is leading you exactly where you're meant to be. The only thing that slows you down is fear. Fear of making mistakes. Fear of not being good enough. Fear of stepping into the unknown. But here's what you have to understand. There are no mistakes. There are no wrong turns. Every experience, every challenge, every lesson is shaping you into the person who is ready for the life you want. And the moment you fully trust that, the moment you let go of the fear and start moving forward with confidence, everything accelerates. Because now you're no longer hesitating, you're no longer questioning, you're flowing with the energy of certainty. And when you flow, life flows with you. So the question isn't whether you can have what you want. The question is, are you ready to step into it? Because the moment you decide, the moment you embody that energy, the moment you move with unwavering belief, reality has no choice but to shift in your favor. And once you truly understand that, everything changes. Most people will hear this message, nod in agreement, and then go back to their old patterns. Not because they don't want change, but because their subconscious is still addicted to the familiar. Your mind is a machine, and its primary function is survival. And do you know what it considers safe? What it already knows. Even if what it knows is struggle. Even if what it knows is lack. Even if what it knows is pain. This is why people sabotage their own success. Why they start making progress and then unconsciously pull themselves back. Not because they don't deserve better, but because they haven't trained their subconscious to accept better. But here's what changes everything. You don't have to force your way to success. You don't have to fight your old programming. You just have to make the new version of you more familiar than the old one. And the fastest way to do that? Repetition. Repetition is the language of the subconscious mind. Not effort, not willpower, not trying harder. Just consistent reinforcement of a new way of thinking, feeling, and acting. Look at the beliefs you have now. You didn't choose them. They were programmed into you through years of repetition, things you heard from your parents, things you saw in the world, things you told yourself over and over. And now you can use that same process to your advantage. You can train your mind to accept a new reality as normal. The key is to expose your subconscious to your desired reality as much as possible, until it becomes the only reality it knows. Flood your mind with the right messages. Every day your subconscious is absorbing information. From the conversations you have, the content you consume, the thoughts you think. Most people let their environment program them by default. They listen to negativity. They engage in doubt. They reinforce old beliefs without realizing it. But you can take control. Instead of letting the world program you, start intentionally feeding your mind with the reality you want to create. Listen to content that supports your vision. Read books that expand your thinking. Speak words that align with the future you're stepping into. Because the more your mind is exposed to a new idea, the more it accepts it as truth. Make your new reality feel real before it happens. This is where most people get it wrong. They wait for external proof before they believe in something. But the mind works the opposite way. It doesn't respond to reality. It responds to perception. If you can feel wealthy before the money arrives, if you can feel loved before the relationship appears, if you can feel successful before the opportunity comes, your subconscious will register that as your new normal. And when something becomes normal to your subconscious, it becomes inevitable in your reality. Because now, you're not hoping, you're not wishing, you're not chasing. You're living as if it's already yours. Act as the version of you who already has it. Your actions shape your identity. If you keep acting like the old you, hesitating, doubting, waiting, you reinforce the old identity. But the moment you start moving differently, thinking differently, making choices from a new level of confidence, your subconscious registers that as a shift in identity. And once your identity shifts, your reality follows. This is why successful people seem to attract opportunities effortlessly. It's not luck. It's because their subconscious already sees success as their normal state. And you can do the same. So ask yourself, How would I act if I already had what I wanted? Would I carry myself differently? Would I make bolder decisions? Would I trust myself more? Then start acting that way now, because the moment your actions align with the reality you want, that reality starts aligning with you. Release attachment and trust the process. This is where most people struggle. They do all the right things, but then they constantly check to see if it's working. They look for signs, they overanalyze every little detail, they stress about when and how it's going to happen, and in doing that, they create resistance. Think about planting a seed. If you keep digging it up to see if it's growing, you're interrupting the process. Your job isn't to micromanage the universe. Your job is to align your energy, take inspired action, and trust that what's meant for you is already on its way. Because when you trust, you let go of resistance. And when you let go of resistance, things flow effortlessly. Become immune to your current reality. This is where most people get stuck. They look around at their current circumstances and say, "But this is my reality. How can I believe something different when this is what I see?" But that's the trap. Your current reality is just an echo of your past vibration. It's the result of your old beliefs, old emotions, old actions. If you keep reacting to what you see, you'll keep creating more of it. You have to train yourself to hold the vision of what you want, even when your reality hasn't caught up yet. Because if you can hold the vision, reality has no choice but to bend to match it. This is what separates those who manifest effortlessly from those who struggle. The ones who succeed don't get discouraged when they don't see instant results. They know that their job isn't to react, it's to align, to believe before they see, to feel it before it happens, to embody it before it arrives, and that's why it always shows up. So ask yourself, what are you choosing to believe? Are you letting your past dictate your future, or are you deciding right now that you are stepping into a new version of yourself? Because the moment you decide, the moment you fully commit, everything shifts. And when that shift happens, reality has no choice but to rearrange itself in your favor. Endless effort or waiting for the perfect moment, but the truth is, the shift happens the moment you decide. Not just with your words, not just with your thoughts, but with your entire being. Because reality doesn't respond to wishful thinking, it responds to certainty. Look at your life right now. Every result you have, your finances, your relationships, your health, your success, is the byproduct of the energy you've been holding. And if you want different results, you don't need more effort, you don't need more time, you need a new vibration. But most people never make the shift, not because they don't want to, not because they don't deserve it, but because they don't fully believe it's possible for them. This is the final key. You have to believe in yourself more than you believe in your current reality. You have to trust the unseen more than what's in front of you. You have to act, think, and feel from the version of you that already has what you desire, even before you see the proof, because the proof doesn't come first. The belief does. And once you embody that belief fully, completely, without hesitation, the entire universe will align to match it. This is why some people seem to attract success effortlessly. It's not luck, it's not chance, it's alignment. They don't wait to feel abundant until the money arrives. They don't wait to feel worthy until love appears. They don't wait to feel powerful until they've succeeded. They step into that energy now. They decide that this is who they are. And because they decide, life bends to reflect that decision. And now it's your turn. Right now you have two choices. You can keep living the way you always have, reacting to circumstances, waiting for proof, hoping that one day things will change. Or you can make the shift. You can step into the energy of the person you are meant to be. You can start thinking, feeling, and acting from that place. Right now, not tomorrow, not when things look better, now. Because now is all you ever have. And the moment you make that shift, the moment you commit fully, the moment you stop negotiating with your old limitations, everything changes. Reality is not happening to you, it's responding to you. You hold the power you always have. So, the question is, who are you choosing to be? Because the moment you decide, life has no choice but to follow.